Good evening, Dub Nation, and welcome to a special edition of Warriors Watch. I'm your host, bringing you the highs, the heartbreak, and the hidden potential of a franchise still writing its legacy. Tonight's story: one of talent benched, legends lifting, and chemistry that could make or break the postseason. Grab your seats, because this one's got everything: drama, redemption, and maybe a little magic still left in the tank. It was supposed to be a defining moment, a chance to solidify the Warriors' identity as they marched toward the play-in with confidence. But instead, a storm was brewing. Golden State fell in an overtime thriller to the Los Angeles Clippers, 123-118, and while the scoreboard stung, it was what didn't happen on the hardwood that had fans and analysts buzzing. Jonathan Kuminga. Guy Santos. Two names. Two absences. Two different questions. Let's start with Kuminga, the high-flying, high-potential forward who once looked like the future of this franchise. Just a few games ago, he lit up the Clippers for 34 points and 10 rebounds, commanding the court with explosive drives and rim-rattling dunks. It wasn't just a great game, it was a statement. A moment that screamed, "I'm here. I belong." And yet, in the overtime loss, he didn't play a single minute. Neither did Guy Santos, the gritty Brazilian forward who's been making a name for himself with hustle plays, smart defense, and a fearless mentality. Both players watched from the bench as Steve Kerr shortened the rotation, and the questions began. Why? Why bench your breakout scorer and your energizer spark plug in one of the most important games of the season? Kerr didn't dodge the question. In his post-game remarks, he calmly addressed the shift. "We found a group we're comfortable with," he said, subtly referencing the chemistry that's been building ever since Jimmy Butler joined the team in that surprise mid-season deal. But it wasn't just about comfort. It was about fit, rhythm, flow. And unfortunately for Kuminga, that's where things have gone wrong. Since returning from injury, Kuminga has struggled, not just in numbers, but in the way his presence affects the game. Spacing collapses. Movement slows. The offense, once fluid, begins to jam. In the last 4 games, he's averaged just 9.2 points on 36% shooting, including a woeful 29% from the field against Memphis. Add a -21 box plus-minus, and you start to see why Kerr made the call. And yet, the silence from the locker room says even more. There's been no internal push for Kuminga to return to the rotation. No behind-the-scenes campaigning. Not even a whisper from the veterans demanding he gets another chance. It's not personal. It's basketball. And in the cold reality of professional sports, sometimes talent just doesn't fit. The trio of Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green has been a chemistry conundrum. On paper, it should work: athleticism, defense, intensity. But on the court, it's chaos. Miscommunication. Redundant roles. Lost spacing. And with Golden State's best stretch, a 12-2 run, coming while Kuminga was sidelined and Butler was fully integrated, the writing's on the wall. During that run, the Warriors boasted top 5 offensive and defensive ratings, with Butler sliding into that leadership role like he was born for it. He's averaging 21.4 points, 5.9 assists, and 1.8 steals during that surge, and even when he took a hard hit to the quad late in the Clippers game, he brushed it off with a smile. "Tell Memphis I'll be there," he joked, his signature grit never in doubt. So where does that leave Kuminga? On the outside? Maybe. But don't count him out. Because amidst the doubt and the DNPs, a voice rose in the darkness. Steph Curry. The heart of this dynasty. The man who knows a thing or two about proving people wrong. He pulled Kuminga aside, not with anger, but with belief. "Stay ready," he said. "You never know when your moment comes." And if there's one thing we've learned from Curry's legendary career, it's that moments are everything. They don't care about stats. They don't care about the last 5 games. All they care about is whether you're ready. Because sometimes all it takes is one play, one rebound, one defensive stop that turns the tide. Kuminga's journey isn't over, it's just facing its first true test of patience and professionalism. Gueye Santos knows that test all too well. He doesn't have the first-round hype or the flashy highlight reels. What he has is heart. Night after night, Santos has battled for every loose ball, chased every defensive assignment, and brought the kind of unshakable energy that sparks comebacks. His minutes might be limited, but his impact? Undeniable. In the last 5 games before being benched, Santos averaged just 6.4 points, but did so on 58% shooting, while posting a +11 net rating when on the floor. His impact isn't about volume, it's about timing, hustle, and doing the dirty work no one else wants. So why was he benched? Kerr's answer was less about performance, and more about identity. With the play-in approaching, the Warriors are chasing clarity. Roles need to be defined. Rotations need to be trusted. And when you're fighting for survival, coaches often lean on veterans. But the fans? They're not forgetting. The outcry on social media was swift. Free Gueye became a rallying cry. Analysts pointed out that without his motor, the second unit loses its bite. And if the Warriors stumble again? Don't be surprised if he's the first man off the bench when they need a spark. And then, there's the front office. Because while we're focused on rotations and roles, executives are facing heat for a decision that's aging poorly, not trading Kuminga. Remember, earlier in the season, Kuminga was up for an extension. It didn't happen. Not because he didn't want it, but because the fit was uncertain. Rumors swirled. Kem Johnson was available. Others too. And yet, Golden State stood pat. Now, with Kuminga benched and chemistry concerns growing, some in the organization are asking the hard question. Should they have moved him? Should they have pulled the trigger on a deal that brought back a cleaner fit? A player who slides in alongside Butler and Green without friction. A proven shooter. A calming presence. It's hindsight. But it's loud. And as the Warriors approach their play-in battle with Memphis, the decisions of the past are colliding with the realities of the present. The matchup isn't just a game, it's a turning point. Draymond Green knows it. He's been ramping up, reasserting his defensive dominance, and calling out switches with a fire that only Draymond can bring. He's averaging 8.1 rebounds, 7.2 assists, and anchoring the defense in crunch time like a true general. Klay Thompson. He's found his rhythm again, posting 19.7 points per game over the last 7, shooting 41% from deep, looking more and more like the old Splash brother who once dropped 37 in a single quarter. And of course, Stephen Curry. Still magic. Still the heart. He's averaging 28.4 points, 6.1 assists, and dragging defenders into chaos with every off-ball cut and 30-foot bomb. When the game tightens, and the lights shine brightest, it's still Steph's world. But even the greats need help. And that's the final twist in this story. Because while Kuminga waits, and Santos watches, the postseason looms. And every fan, every analyst, every teammate knows, depth wins championships. You don't make deep runs with just 5 guys. You win with the 6th man. The 7th. The spark plug off the bench who changes the game in 5 minutes flat. That could be Kuminga. That could be Santos. And that's why this isn't the end. Not yet. Because stories like these don't end in silence. They end in redemption. In resilience. In a moment where the forgotten player becomes the hero. Maybe it's a tip-in. A steal. A chase-down block. Or maybe, just maybe, it's Kuminga rising above a Memphis defender, throwing down a dunk that rattles not just the rim, but the entire narrative around him. Maybe it's Gueye Santos diving on the floor, kicking out to Klay, and turning a tied game into a lead that never slips. The truth? No one knows. That's the beauty of basketball. It's not just a game. It's a story. A story that's still being written. So if you're a Warriors fan feeling frustrated, take a breath. Because the postseason is coming. And with it, comes opportunity. Opportunity for redemption. For chemistry. For championship dreams that still flicker, still burn. This team has been counted out before. They've been doubted. Dismissed. But somehow, they always find a way. And maybe, just maybe, the next chapter of this dynasty won't be written by the stars on the court, but by the ones waiting in the wings. Kuminga. Santos. Their moment is coming. Will they be ready? Only time will tell. Stay tuned. Because this is Warriors basketball. And here's the key takeaway from the channel: delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide. And anything can happen.